Welcome to the Project Veritas infamous wall of shame, where the journalists' reputations go to die, where they project onto me everything they hate, and that's why they're so miserable. And at Project Veritas, we love our lives and change the world. This one goes to the Daily News. It's about Ivory Hecker, the whistleblower at a local Fox affiliate in Houston, Texas, who, as you recall, went live on the air and blew the whistle on her own news station. And
thanks, guys. That's right. Before we get to that story, I want to let you, the viewers, know that Fox Corp has been muzzling me to keep certain information from you, the viewers. And from what I'm gathering, I am not the only reporter being subjected to this. I am going to be releasing some recordings about what goes on behind the scenes at Fox because it applies to you, the viewers. I found a nonprofit journalism group called Project Veritas. It's going to help put that out tomorrow, so tune into them. But as for this heat wave across Texas, you can see what it's doing to AC units.
Quite a heroic and creative way to do this. Headline: Houston reporter fired after blasting station on air to expose conspiracy. They said that we were banned from Twitter for pushing misinformation. That's factually and legally incorrect. They were forced to update it. Cue the Retracto theme song. In this article by the New York Daily News, this has got to be more than one Retracto we've gotten from the Daily News. I think we've gotten some in the past. There's so many of them here. There's just too many to fit in the building. It's by one Joseph Wilkinson, and he writes, quote, Ivory Hecker took her story to Project Veritas, a right-wing news group known for its sting operations and for getting banned from Twitter for pushing misinformation. So the reporter is saying that we are most known for getting banned from Twitter for pushing misinformation. That's what we are known for, according to this Daily News. We were not banned from Twitter for pushing misinformation. We were banned from Twitter for quoting Charlie Chester.
We were creating a story there that we didn't know anything about. We were, so that's I think that's propaganda.
And Twitter said that we were spreading or creating fake accounts. We subsequently sued Twitter for defamation for saying that. So we believe so much in our righteousness here that we actually filed a lawsuit in New York court. But it wasn't even what Twitter claimed. Twitter didn't claim misinformation. They claimed that I created a fake account. I never created a fake Twitter account in my life, but our undercover work, people often do use pretense. But saying that you're spreading misinformation is much worse than creating an alias or an undercover ruse in order to extract truthful information out of people. So, our legal team sent the Daily News a letter over the summer. Mr. Wilkinson, your article is factually incorrect and defamatory, including this bit about a right-wing group known for its sting operations and for getting banned from Twitter for pushing misinformation. They responded. This is the law firm Miller, Korensic, Summers, Raymond, LLP. I represent the Daily News. I write in response. The Daily News denies there is anything materially false about the article and further denies that anything in the article would give rise to a legitimate defamation claim. Nonetheless, there's always a nonetheless somewhere in here. Nonetheless, in the interest of complete accuracy, well, isn't that interesting? 2 sentences ago, he said, we deny that anything is false, and then 2 sentences later, in the interests of being accurate, we have now corrected the article. The lawyer is literally engaging in doublethink in the same paragraph. And this is a lawyer. Well, that doesn't surprise us. The Daily News has now corrected the reference to Project Veritas' Twitter ban to state that the reason for the ban related to violations of Twitter's private information policy. Is he referring to the fact that we published a video of an interaction outside the home of a Facebook executive and neglected to blur the number on the lamppost?
When you talk about freezing comments containing hate...
That's interesting. CNN published an image of Brett Kavanaugh, that's the Supreme Court Justice's house, and blurred nothing.
Officers say they found a Glock 17 pistol.
And they're still on Twitter. So what do you have to say about that, Mr. Miller, Korensic, Summers, Raymond, LLP? I'm sure you would engage in doublethink because 2 + 2 = 5 in this day and age. But Project Veritas won this particular skirmish. Now the Daily News editor's note reads, quote, "An earlier version of this story misstated the reason why Project Veritas was banned from Twitter. The article is now corrected to say it was banned for repeated violations of Twitter's private information policy." This is the New York Daily News. This is trash. And it's not just the reporter whose name is Joseph Wilkinson, it's the attorneys. It's the attorneys. Can you think of anyone else who does this? Anyone? Anywhere? And you get away with it. But not for groups like us. And please know that we have sued the New York Times for defamation and got past motion to dismiss. And that's probably why Joseph Wilkinson made the correction after saying he was bluffing. We called his bluff, and now he's retracted. And all of this can have been avoided. The back and forth with this ridiculous law firm, Miller, Korenzik, Summers, Raymond, LLP, New York, New York. We'll make sure we blur that out because I wouldn't want to put anyone's address on blast like CNN did to Brett Kavanaugh. All this can have been avoided if you just did your jobs. But instead you project onto me what you are. Maybe you guys are doing the thing you accuse me of. It's a Freudian thing. It's a psychological thing. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist, but that's what I've deduced is your problem. And I suggest, against the advice of counsel, that you go seek therapy. And we'll be sending you a Retracto in the mail. You'll be getting it shortly, along with a little package with a ribbon and a note signed by me. Take care.